so that would be great. Welcome to committee.
Fantastic. Can you hear me okay? It's working? Well, I got some steps in on my way here. Turns out you can't park on the south side and come in the south side. That's just not, it's against the rules in some way. So as you heard, my name is Adrian. It's nice to see you in person. Thank you for the invite again. And I am excited to share a couple of stories with you. I had a chance to watch a few of the last videos that were out there from these hearings done before, and you guys see and deal with some pretty hard stuff. It's not always positive vibes coming through this microphone, and so I get it. We were just talking. I've been a foster dad since, May of 2012. And we've had kids in and out of our house, and we adopted the last 3. Their last name is now Lewis. Our youngest is 13, runs track, and they call him Lewis. And that's not the name he was born with, but that is the name that he has. And so when you hear me share, I want you to hear that this is not academic, right? This is not a business venture. This is born out of, I'll even say, a calling God put on my life to see and serve the most vulnerable people, the most vulnerable children that I could. And it's led to the things that you're going to hear in a few minutes. And it's been a pretty amazing journey. So that's the starting point. Okay. A few weeks ago, I'm in a hospital. Find myself in this hospital, and I'm going to visit the 16-year-old girl. Her name is Maya. Maya's been in the hospital for months. And I'm bringing her some crumble cookies. I don't know Maya. I've never met Maya. So why am I in the hospital bringing Maya some crumble cookies? I'm there because like a week before that, I'm getting ready to get on a plane. And I get a message on my phone. The message is from CarePortal. My home church in Olathe, Kansas is signed up for CarePortal. And so we get these notifications that come pretty frequently that there's a need of some sort. The needs come from a caseworker. Could be a child welfare caseworker, could be a school caseworker, homeless shelter, could be a hospital, but some caseworker who has knowledge of a real need of a real person right now, where helping this family get through a moment of crisis will make a big difference. And so my church is signed up, and I get this request. And this request is for this single mom. She's got 3 kids, and the oldest of the 3 kids is in the hospital because she's had a terrible accident. And it's so bad that she's been in the ICU for months. And so this mom is doing what any mom or dad is here would do. When you are on the brink of potentially losing your child, you stop everything. And this mom is at the hospital every single day trying to love her little girl who she might lose. Now, I don't know if any of you are single parents, but if you're a single parent, your chances of having disposable income and being able to take months off of work is pretty low. And this mom was at a place where she's not able to pay rent, and she's not able to pay her car payment. So if mom can't pay rent or pay her car payment, and she's already got a caseworker involved, and her daughter's in the hospital, if that goes too far, you guys know what's happening next. You're getting a phone call. And the chances of those kids not being able to stay with mom is pretty high. So I get this request, and it's for rent, and it's for a car payment. And I say, yes, I can help. I can't do all of it, but I can do something. And then I press another button that says, engage my church. And that request goes out to my church. And another button I press that says engage my community, and that request goes out to the community. And by the time my plane landed, there was $2,000 available to help this mom. By the time my plane landed. So I reach out to the caseworker through the app. We get connected. She connects me with the mom who gave permission for us to be connected. I started communicating with the mom about her story. Her name is Landy, about what's going on with Landy, how the kid ended up where she was. I help her pay her bills, and all that is fine and dandy. Like from mom, knowing that her rent has been paid and her car is not behind, is a huge stress reliever for her. Huge. Don't underestimate the value of just that thing. But when mom tells me that Maya is no longer in the ICU and now she's being moved over to a regular unit, and I say, hey, what does Maya like? Mom says crumble cookies. So I bring crumble cookies to Maya because when I show up with those cookies, Maya is seen. Her mother is seen. They are known in their trial. And more than that, they know that somebody out there believes in them. Somebody who is motivated by love as a neighbor believes in them. And what happens when somebody who is motivated by love can show up for another person? I suspect if I asked each one of you about a moment in crisis that you had, when somebody who loves you showed up to help you, the difference it makes in your life. We call that a meaningful connection, a relational experience that leaves like a lasting impact on a person's life. That's what we call that. And so what CarePortal does is it connects kids and families in crisis using this technology that caseworkers have access to with churches and businesses and people in the community who want to help, who want to show up with resources and with relationship to make a real difference in a person's life. That's what the platform does. Did my slides up by chance? No? That was supposed to be there the whole time. Surprise. And we've been doing this for a minute. We started this 2013, started messing around. 2015, we actually went live. We've been active in Kansas since then. And now you'll see, can you advance for me, sir? These are all the places across Kansas, all the counties where CarePortal is active. CarePortal is also active in 39 other states. We're headquartered in Kansas City. I live in Stillwell, Kansas. We've been at this for a while. Nationally, we've seen almost 500,000 kids served through neighbors coming alongside of them, all the caregivers that come along with them. The opportunity for this is massive. Last year alone, over 10,000 different caseworkers were able to submit a request into the platform across the country. And we are having tremendous success in the state of Kansas. Things are going very well. If you go to the next slide, 130 different agencies, schools, child welfare, private agencies, homeless shelters, et cetera, use the platform. Almost 300 churches use the platform in the city of Kansas. 11,000 requests have been met. 33,809 children's needs have been met, all through vetted requests that have come from caseworkers through the platform in the state of Kansas, and millions of dollars of economic impact, which is a combination of resources like the $2,000 I just told you about, and time and cost avoidance. Because what happens when people's needs get met in the right moment? The chances of them going into the system go down. And whatever we can do to help kids stay with safe and stable family, we should try to do that. Go ahead and go to the next slide. We know there's more opportunity in the state of Kansas. Like, we've done it quite a bit. We're in 45 different counties. Wichita, here in Topeka, Kansas City, and a whole bunch of other places. But there's a ton more that could be done across the state. And I would love to say that in my home state, that the care sharing infrastructure is in every single county. Shane's on our team here. He leads the state of Kansas, and he would love to be part of expanding this across the state. And that expansion happens sometimes very strategically and sometimes just organically. So what I'll leave you with is a quick story. A little bit ago, there was a request that came in Lane County. A woman by the name of Michelle on our team in north central Kansas. Not Lane County, in Salina. She connected with this woman named Leah from Bless Hope Families, and there was a need for a foster family. That need was for $1,900 for this little boy that they were fostering to have dental work done, and they didn't have the resources to make that happen. That makes sense. But where do those resources come from? Well, if CarePortal was active in that county, then we would be able to just like do what I did, what happened with me. But it wasn't. And so they got a little creative and they worked around town a little bit, and they went to another place where that same organization, Blessed Hope Families, operated, and they submitted the request there in that other county. And I'm reading here that within 10 minutes of posting the request, an anonymous donor from somewhere else in Kansas paid the entire $1,900. That's pretty amazing. But that was so inspirational that led to the expansion of CarePortal into that county. So soon after, 5 of the 7 churches, not a big county, 5 of the 7 churches in that county activated CarePortal. And now there's multiple schools and the Child Welfare Agency trying to get on board with having CarePortal launched there as well. That will become, it's like an organic expansion. And so our thanks to you guys is that because you're focusing on child welfare, because you're bringing attention to solutions like CarePortal that can help make there be a home for every child, and to lean down this path of the 1-to-1 ratio we're trying to get to, and to help make prevention a priority as much as we can. I'm here to offer Shane, myself, CarePortal as one of the things that you can do to build a care sharing infrastructure where you unlock the potential of thousands and thousands of people in this state who want to care for kids in the way that they can. Some with resources, some with relationship, all of which live in community with the people who we're trying to serve. So thank you for the time. I think you have an opportunity for questions. If that's what's next, I'm here for you.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Questions committee, Representative Sappington.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you expand upon some of the other different ways that needs can be met on the CarePortal? It's not just financial, correct?
Totally. So the most common need is actually for beds, because safe sleep is really important, right? When a caseworker shows up and the family doesn't have beds and there's a case, then they do what they need to do to try to get them beds. So that's at the very top of the list. Furniture is often there. Sometimes it's transportation. It could be mentorship. Anything that a caseworker can say, I know that there's a real need for this family that can help move the case plan along, they're able to submit into the platform and see what comes.
Can I ask one follow-up? And then what does the follow-up with the families look like after that need is met?
It's great. Sometimes it's me communicating with Landy to say, how are things going? It's engaging the family as much as they're interested in engaging. There is so much that happens, we call it off-platform, after that need is met. But the beautiful thing is we don't orchestrate it as an organization. We are setting the table through awareness and connection for this organic relationships to happen. And the whole social isolation thing that we know is a big deal in our country, 2023, wasn't it? The Surgeon General said social isolation is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We're trying to break that through communities engaging each other, but we don't dictate how it happens. Yeah.
Representative Humphreys.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for being here. I think we met like at a
You look familiar.
Christian Alliance for Orphans maybe like years ago.
Like a decade.
It's the first time. But thank you. So I'm curious if the CarePortal is the main thing you're doing now, or if you're continuing with some of the other opportunities, ministries, and things.
Yeah, so CarePortal is part of a larger organization called Go Project. Go Project has several things that we do, all trying to break the orphan cycle, both domestically and internationally. So we serve in 10 or 12 different countries. The gray hair on my face is a result of doing CarePortal all the time and having 6 kids. And so I don't personally do a whole lot with the other initiatives, but our parent organization, we have a fair trade business where we make T-shirts to help stabilize families that does several millions of units a year. And then we have 12 countries or so we partner in to help local churches in those countries where there isn't a foster care system care for the most vulnerable kids where they are.
Okay, and if I may, and just, I don't think I'm opening a can of worms, but you don't receive state funds, is that correct?
It's incorrect. We do receive state funds.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we maybe 6 or 7 years ago started down that path, something like that. And it's It's actually happening in Kansas as we speak. So in the state of Kansas, can I speak directly about this? Yeah. $330,000 is what's being contributed, our
The
budget.
GO project or to specifically CarePortal?
To CarePortal
Okay.
specifically, to help us operate. That covers about half of our current expenses in the state of Kansas. And so we do private philanthropic fundraising for the other part. We also do that in many other states. In some states, the investment is higher from the government because they want to see CarePortal happen everywhere. So like in Oklahoma, just south of us, CarePortal's active in all 77 counties, and they contribute at a higher level to help make that happen. They've seen a significant decrease. They would tout roughly 40% decrease in kids in care over the last 6 years, and CarePortal is a piece of building the care sharing infrastructure in their state. Florida's another example. We're statewide there as well. There's a pretty big partnership that's with the state. So are we opposed to it? Absolutely not. Is there a desire for us to have a public-private mix? Absolutely, because this is really a community solution to bring everybody together.
Thank you for what you do. Appreciate you being in the space.
Okay, other questions, committee? Any other questions? Okay, I want to thank you for coming today. I know he was a little nervous about what are we doing, what do we talk about? So this is the committee process in the legislature. It's really fun, and it's where a lot of the work is done. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the work you're doing. I got to attend their national conference last year, and hearing these stories from across the nation was just phenomenal, just making a difference. And I love the connection, the local connection, and the fact that it's organic, as you say, and it's, people are looking for support, and if they don't have that, this is a great way to connect them. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
You guys.
Okay, next we're going to have a presentation on family treatment courts and some information about Safe Babies Courts. So Chief Judge Nicholas St. Peter from the 19th Judicial District Court down in Cowley County is with us in person today. I really